Here's your host, Larry Michael.
At FedEx Field, we're at 7:37 tonight. They're going to kick off to the Redskins and the Green Bay Packers. This is the 26th preseason meeting between these two teams. Long-standing series. Started in the regular season back in 1932. Squared off last year here at FedEx Field. The Redskins victorious 42-24. We're going to hear from Jay Gruden now and get the guy's reaction. Cut one with the coach, what he's hoping to accomplish in this, the second preseason game of the year. Coach?
Well, we actually want to improve a little bit. I think going 3 and out 2 series in a row is not what we intended. And defensively did some good things, though. I think we went 3 and out on defense with our starting defense, first 2 groups. Josh and DJ were in there. We went 3 and out and Ryan. So I'd like them to continue their trend of making plays and flying around with the football.
Coach fielded a lot of questions this week about the play calling. And, Chris, I want you to respond to this first. What's the big deal? He's calling the plays, and people wonder if he's comfortable doing so. What's your reaction to that?
He's 100% comfortable calling the plays. He's been calling the plays forever. He called the plays at Cincinnati. He called the plays here for the first 2 seasons for sure. Yeah, he can call plays. There's no question about that. We're not going to get into whether or not he called good plays in the preseason. Your individual evaluation of players is what really matters.
Cut 2 with the coach on whether it was a wake-up call last week and if he has changed anything about how the team prepared this week. Coach?
We're still preparing the same way. We're going to get these guys prepared. I just think when you talk about wake-up call, I just think everybody has to come out and understand the other team has an agenda also. We didn't match the same agenda, and that's probably my fault. So, 6 plays, 2 3 and outs for the number 1 offense. Wasn't what we expected, but we expect our offense to come out, play a little bit better, more physical, try to get the running game going a little bit. 2.2 yards a carry is what I was most disappointed in the whole game. For us to be a physical football team, we have to be able to run the ball better.
Well, they got to run the ball better. But, they got to get first down. And they said that the Ravens were physical. But this team's going to be physical because they're going to blitz. They're going to blitz. They want to blitz a lot. And that's their whole thing this year during preseason. I was reading what the coach was talking about. He said, we're going to blitz. We're going to come after you. So it's going to be good for the Redskins figuring that out.
I think you just had to be disappointed that you couldn't run the ball even later in the game as the first unit of the Ravens went out. This is a good front from the Packers. A couple D tackles last year, and Kenny Clark and Mike Daniels, who did a great job stopping the run. Packers weren't good on the back end, but they stopped the run last season. You got to challenge this week early, but you got to be able to run the ball a little later, Sonny. The Redskins couldn't do it at any point in the game.
No, they couldn't, and that hurt them. Because if they could get some running, some semblance of running, then it works in with the short passing game.
Hey, John, have you seen enough of Rob Kelly to know what the Redskins have there at running back with him starting?
Well, I think, he's the kind of ideal back that somebody like a Bill Belichick would play and have as his running back. And by that I say I don't think he's, a 1,700 yard, 1,500 yard a year guy. I don't think. But he's a solid, dependable guy that can do a lot of things, and I think you got to look at the system that he's in. This is a passing team. That's what they want to do. They're not a running team. I don't think they make any apologies for that. And I think if they throw the ball well enough, that they can actually dictate when and how successful their run will be. I just don't think it can be that important to Jay Gruden, because if it was, I would think that there would be a real shift in things. And when you have the kind of shift, meaning that you would see that they would really literally be pounding people, and they don't really do that. At least that's not what I see. They're not. I know this is probably sounds contrary to what most people think, and it is because of the different eras of football. But they're not really that attack type of an offense running the ball. They want to throw it, and look at the receivers they got. Why not? And if you're going to, you stretch a defense out a little bit, Bob Kelly's going to, he's going to be in sync to be perfect for that. The area that they have to improve in, though, is still short yardage, and that's the guy they're still looking for.
We're going to hear more from the coach a little bit later. Chris, you look at some of the players tonight not going to play for the Redskins. We won't see Junior Gillette. Of course, we're not going to see Sua Cravens. It opens opportunities. And with the injury to Trent Murphy, how do you see that outside linebacker position? Maybe your prediction come September 10th who those 4 outside backers might be?
I would love to predict that it would be Junior Gillette, but there's been so much hype around Junior Gillette, and he's never been there. Listen, Ryan Anderson was fantastic as far as bringing a physical impact to the edge. He's going to be great in the run game. Ryan Anderson's going to play. There's no doubt about that. Preston Smith made a dedication to football this offseason. You've heard him talking about his diet, the way he's worked out. You gotta see that early. I'd love to see Preston Smith come out early. Ryan Kerrigan, obviously, is Ryan Kerrigan. You know exactly what to expect from him. So you got to have to step up. But, Sonny, John, Doc, if you can't rush the passer, and that's what this position really hasn't been able to do in the last 3 years, then you can't. 3 years, let's take it further. Then you can't really have an impact. You don't scare anybody on defense. In this league, right now, passing league, if you can't rush the passer.
I try.
I mean, Kerrigan,
exactly right.
Kerrigan has looked outstanding in preseason. You know what you got in him, but you don't know. And you did mention Ryan Anderson. Chris, you watched his tape. Now, he had a stinger this week, didn't practice fully. We don't have word on some of the Redskins, but we aren't sure if they're going to play or not. Coach didn't tell us. But could Ryan Anderson end up being the complement they've been looking for to Ryan Kerrigan for the last few years?
I think Ryan Anderson is the next Ryan Kerrigan. He's going to have to get better, and as he develops his pass rush repertoire, he's got to make a move at 3 yards into the backfield. That 3 steps, he's hitting the tackle, and it looks like he's confused with where he wants to go next, or he's just not 100% sure about that move. He doesn't have the pure speed, and that power, it's a little bit different at 255, 260 with the 320-pound left tackle. You don't just bowl him over like you did in college. Right now, no, he's not the speed complement. Junior Gillette would be that guy, or maybe Preston Smith could be that guy. Ryan Anderson will be a very good player for this team this year, but he's going to have to develop his pass rush skills on an NFL level.
He's a little bigger than Kerrigan, isn't he?
About the same size, not as tall. Kerrigan has been so healthy, and he's looked so strong in this preseason. I'm expecting huge things out of Ryan Kerrigan. Up next, Cooley's Keys. They have been shortened, I hope.
Cooley's Keys.
Cooley's Keys. He's feverishly writing stuff in his $45 notebook. That's after this on the Washington Redskins Radio Network.
Moving the chains is
I see why Barb didn't want to just give them to me.